voices to play the old school music, which I got a different one, which is even funnier.
Oh yeah.
All right, 1 second. The signal. The voices are up.
No reason.
We did have a good night though. It was a really, really good night. I laughed my ass off.
We both did.
Yeah, it was fun.
I need somebody to bring me a beer.
Laughed out hard.
I know, right?
Fucking 5 years.
I don't know what I'm gonna do when she has to go back home, dude. I'm gonna be fucked. Like,
I mean, you might have to get your own beer.
I know, right? I know. Well, see,
No, that's what daughters are for.
I was doing that thing. I was training my daughters up, so like they've been bringing me beer since they were like in diapers, and like because I want to be like that old man where like my daughters are grown and they're adults, but they still bring their dad a beer.
Yeah.
You know, like so. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see.
When it's a more acceptable world, maybe
Yeah.
instead of a beer, since I don't drink beer,
Right.
maybe I'll get like a cannabis cookie or something and be like, "Hey, can you give me that pack of cookies over there?"
There you go. There you go.
Those cookies.
It'll be an accepting world one day. One day.
Someday. Some states aren't too bad. I mean, it's pretty much just regular everything here in Colorado. Like nobody cares anymore. Like it's not even really like a blip on anybody's radar anymore out here. So, which is really odd being active duty and kind of surrounded by all that, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. You guys had a good week?
Yes, sir. I had a very good week. I was busy, man. Busy.
Had a pretty good weekend. Aside from the fact that I had to get up early this morning to go to the fort just to get my second vaccination. So,
Do you glow in the dark?
not yet. I'm waiting until tomorrow morning. I'm gonna see how I feel tomorrow morning. Which I have to work either way, so it doesn't matter. But I'm curious that everybody says like the second one makes you a little sick. The day after. So I'm curious to see if that's gonna happen to me or not.
If you get any powers, I hope you get the one you want, man.
So I have a question: it was a shot your choice, or is it mandatory being in the Army?
It was volunteer. I was allowed to volunteer for it. So there's actually a lot of people that didn't take it, obviously. And I get it. I understand, it is a vaccination, but they didn't do all the FDA stuff. That it was approved on a trial basis through the FDA or like an emergency basis through the FDA instead of the way a regular vaccination would go, or vaccine, I should say, that's being created. But I'm comfortable enough. I'm comfortable enough doing it. I don't really feel like there's any reason for me not to. So I was like, screw it. Might as well just do it now instead of wait till later and whatever. Like, that was just my personal thing. So when I had the shot, I took it, basically.
Right on.
Yeah. Nothing crazy. Just I figured better to have that stupid card that says I'm vaccinated than freaking now I can do whatever I want, right? Allegedly. Right?
I hear they're starting you can start getting like black market vaccination cards now.
Oh, nice. They
always find a way.
Yeah.
You know what? There had a whole stack of those, like blank ones, just sitting. I walked in this. I should have stolen that and like started selling like blank vaccination cards for like $10 a pop, bro. I don't care if it's a felony, honey. That doesn't bother me. Tell me, it's like it's a Tuesday. It's like,
It's Felony Friday, guys.
yeah.
I I had I always go through these deep dives every now and then. So I went through this wild musical deep dive this week on Nirvana. I've always loved Nirvana, but it's been a while since I listened to them. And what brought me to them is that I may have sent you guys the link.
You did. You
Um,
did. I want you to talk about it because yeah,
so
I got
so
got feelings. I got feelings about that.
I got very like on the gate feelings about it. So this guy he AI'd four songs. One I believe was The Doors, Jimi Hendrix, Amy Winehouse, and Nirvana.
Yep.
And all four tracks sound amazing, and they're all generated by AI. And if you listen to these, some the Amy Winehouse one, you could hear that her voice is a little note off.
Yeah.
The Nirvana one kind of sounds to me what they would sound like if Kurt Cobain was still alive today. But
Quite possible.
but the Doors and the Jimi Hendrix ones were so like spot on and fantastic, and it's just like when I was enjoying them, and I'm just like snap out of it. This is fucked up. This is AI. This is different.
A
So
robot made that. A robot made that music.
it's so fucking eerie. The whole point of the whole project was to promote suicide in music, in the music industry, where a lot of people died younger, and this project was called the
27.
27, yeah, the 20 members of the 27 Club or something like that, and these four songs are from people who died in the 27. So eerie, I get chills down my spine, and I'm not gonna lie, I've listened to the Nirvana song maybe like 100 times because it just sounds so goddamn accurate to maybe what's something he would fucking write, and it's like, oh shit, this is wild. You know, we dived into the whole metaverse thing, so
Mhm.
this I feel like this kind of fits in, and it's fucking weird. So now is the music industry going to capitalize on this?
I mean, I
I
don't know.
don't.
That's way more Sean's lane than mine.
I think that a couple of things. There's a lot of lawsuits that could come out of something like that if the music industry did try to. I mean, a lot of these musicians that died so long ago, like their families have their estates and they make money off of the radio play and the swag and all the stuff that the Jimi Hendrix shit. The Hendrix family are they. I have a friend that tried to cover one of the Jimmy songs on his album, and so he contacted the family, and they wanted an ungodly amount of money for someone to cover one
Just
of
for
the
a cover.
really obscure, and it wasn't a popular one; it was an obscure Hendrix song. So yeah, but with the metaverse, if this music is being generated and not created, and we've got that, what is the software that you can make it look like somebody saying whatever they're saying.
Like a deep fake.
Yeah, so deep fakes, and now we're
Yep.
generating music from people that don't exist anymore.
Uh huh.
It's
Or how
really
about just the
weird,
fact
man.
that that program was written and coded in such a way that it was able to take a sample of like 30 different songs from that artist and write its own along with lyrics.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's a little spooky. That is a little spooky.
It's Skynet.
Yeah, it might as well be.
Skynet.
It might as well be. Holy crap. Hope
It-
I'm not on anybody's list.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Machines they're gonna go live, man.
it's just
Yeah.
it's just fucked up because you get that like gullible excitement, and then it's just like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
this isn't right. This
I'm
isn't
buying
right.
I'm buying into some serious bullshit right now.
It's like
you
when
know, like
it's like when they made Tupac into a fucking hologram a couple years ago
yeah,
on Coachella. That was weird. That was
it
weird.
fucking was. Like it was super weird. And that kind of stuff is always weird. It's like that's the stuff we would watching science fiction movies about when we were, like was not Total Recall, The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
They had a whole part of that movie was about deep fakes and faking footage and like having it look real and all that other stuff. And it's like it's in there. And it's exactly what they're doing. Like, and now what do we believe, right? Go ahead, Sean.
Remember when Brandon Lee died making The Crow, and they finished the movie without him?
Yep, and they had to like superimpose his face.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
yeah.
that was the humble beginnings of this type of stuff, but they still managed to pull it off. A lot of people
They
didn't
did.
know.
And that's to this day one of my favorite movies. It's a great fucking movie, you know. But it's like, yeah, like the man died while filming. In any other era, that would have been it. You know, filming probably would have stopped, or they would have had to get a replacement to take over that role. And they said, "No, we've already got enough footage, and we'll make it work." And that's exactly what they did. They finished the movie without him, and they released it. Obviously, you know, in his memory, and it was a great fucking movie. But holy crap, like that, you're right. That was the first. Now that I'm thinking about it, Sean, that probably was the first or one of the first movies that like really like ever even attempted to do anything like that, and it was because he died. You know, I'm trying to think of a. We had Terminator 2, which you know obviously all the special effects in Terminator 2. That was 1991, I think.
92.
It came out in 92.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Terminator 2 was up there, and then just a couple short years later, they were doing stuff like that with Brandon Lee. So I was still mid 90s.
Look
You
at
know what I mean?
Look at the recent Star Wars movies. What they did with Carrie Fisher. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of it was like recycled old footage, but a lot of it was also digital. You know, so
Yeah.
this isn't a new thing. So it might not be the last time we see this. And if this guy,
I'm sure it's not going to be.
I'm curious to see if this guy's going to continue with more of this music.
The Nirvana song I thought was, in my opinion, the Nirvana song was the best. And the lyrics to the Doors song sounded like fucking Jim. It would did like the singer didn't really sound quite like Jim Morrison. Like he was like Morrison-esque, but not. You could tell it wasn't him. But the lyrics sounded like Morrison wrote them, and that was what kind of creeped me out. I was like, did a fucking machine come up with these lyrics? Because all it did was take a sample of like 30 songs from each of those artists, and then created its own fucking song. Like, yeah, and the lyrics to the Doors one were really really haunting, and it was like, dude, like a fucking machine do that? Like, cause this is like that sounds like Jim Morrison would have wrote this. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And the Nirvana song was like a good song. It was just a good song by itself. Like, yeah.
Drowned in the Sun. It's like it's just so Cobainish. It's Drowned in the Sun.
Yep.
It's and because I dove into some stuff, and the very last song that they had, You're Right, which is actually my favorite Nirvana song.
I like that song.
It's a good song. And Dave Grohl was talking about how it's hard for him to listen to that song because that song is like speaking all the truths that they were going through. Like, I just found out this week that Unplugged was their very last show, and that they were already broken up when they did Unplugged.
What?
Yeah.
They get there's a lot of stuff that they kept under the radar for a lot of years after Cobain committed suicide because of how he died, basically, and they didn't want to besmirch his name pretty much any more than it already was, right?
Yeah.
But the dude had a lot of problems with drugs and heroin in particular, but
and a crazy wife,
completely batshit crazy wife,
and
then
started,
it seemed
he
like
started getting a little greedy too because he wanted a lot
and
of the copyright shares as well.
Well, and to be fair to Kurt Cobain's credit, he did write lyrically. He wrote pretty much almost everything. But Dave Grohl and Kurt
Novoselic.
Thank you, Novoselic. Yeah, thank you. They were ready. They were making the music too. So it's like, are we the Three Musketeers, or is it Kurt Cobain and his two homies?
Well, dude, that has been like the oldest argument that has gone on within bands since bands have been bands. And so you've got mostly, you don't have a band like the Eagles where everybody's a songwriter and everybody's a singer. You've got one guy that writes the songs, that comes up with the chord progression, that writes the lyrics, that comes up with the vocal melody. Yep. And then you've got the musicians in the band, the other musicians, I should say.
Right.
And everybody wants an equal stake, but that singer is doing most of the work.
Right.
Right. And some people are like, hey, we're doing it, we're splitting it equal. But some people want that money. A really good example of how that went bad is there's a band from like the '60s called The Band,
Yeah,
and they wrote a lot of amazing music.
they did.
They got the drummer was from the South in America, and the guitar player, his name is Robbie Robertson, is from
Hmm.
Canada, and he was obsessed with the South. He thought it was the most awesome sort of almost fictional wonderland or whatever, with railroad, people jumping railroads, and like all
Uh-huh.
the stuff that went on. So the drummer would tell the stories about the South, of growing up in the South, the deep South, and Robbie Robertson would write songs about it. Well, he got most of the money and the copyright and all that stuff, and the drummer then afterwards tried to sue so he could get some of the royalties as well, but he didn't write the songs. He just played the drums and sang a little bit. Sang a lot, actually. He's a real good singer, but the writer the writer gets the money, man.
Yeah, that's for the most part that's the reality. But and then when you have these hyper talented people that are just insanely, you know, focused and single minded about their pursuing their dream, basically, like becoming a rock star, becoming a famous musician, whatever, you're going to end up having a clash of egos eventually.
Yeah.
And as much as Kurt Cobain became kind of like an icon for the '90s generation, um, people forget even the grunge guys have egos. You know what I mean? Like just because they're singing about being against the man and not selling out and staying humble, basically, like, or whatever, that doesn't mean they don't have egos at all. You know what I mean? Like you'd be hard pressed to find, well, most of the grunge guys aren't around anymore today, anyways. But but I mean, go talk to
Yeah, Pearl Jam made it all the way. Everybody's alive.
Actually,
Everybody's clean. I
I,
think.
it
I
actually,
think I think they're the only grunge band that probably survived the '90s. Like, I'm struggling to think of another one. Like, there's still people from the '90s that make music, but as far as like a band that is still together, I mean, you got like fucking Tool from the '90s, but they weren't grunge. Obviously, they weren't grunge.
Papa
No.
And then
Roach.
you got yeah, yeah. They were the tail end though. That, like, when I say '90s, I'm
Oh yeah,
talking
yeah.
like probably like time frame of like 1992 to like 1997. Like, none of those bands exist anymore. They're
That's
all
true.
gone. Like,
Here's an interesting fact about Nirvana. They actually had a member who played guitar for them. They had a second guitar player
Pat, right?
named Jason Mark Everman. Uh,
Oh,
yep,
so he actually
yeah.
served in the U.S. Army from 1994 to 2006. He was an Army Ranger and a Green Beret. And served in Afghanistan and
no
Iraq.
shit.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And who,
so
Yeah.
what band from?
he's
He was he played in Nirvana in the early days. He also
and
played in Soundgarden
yep.
very briefly. And
Wow.
John, that always reminds me of a joke. Like, what do you call a guy who played in Nirvana and Soundgarden and quit the bands to go be an Army Ranger and a Green Beret? A fucking idiot.
That's actually
Oh
a good
man.
fucking joke.
Yeah, I made it.
That's actually a
Yeah.
good fucking joke. But yeah,
Yeah.
he plays guitar in a military veteran band called Silence and
He's
Light. I
no real talk. The dude's a fucking badass, and he's obviously, again, hyper talented. So he could have been in a rock and roll band and made it, or he went to the fucking Ranger Battalion and then Special Forces later on, fucking made it there, and he's still serving his community, obviously, by making music and playing shows now. So good, absolutely good on that guy. Good on that
I
guy.
love how his Wikipedia says allegiance, the United States of America. I love it.
Oh,
Allegiance.
yeah, Allegiance, yeah. That changed recently. I don't know when that changed, but I noticed that, like, I don't know how long ago it was, but
Yeah.
instead of saying like country of origin or country or whatever, it just says allegiance.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? Like, what does that mean? Like, who I'm aligned with? Like, that's I'm American, goddamn it! Like I don't get it.
It's your allegiance.
Mm-hmm.
So
You can't play anymore, but you can proclaim your allegiance.
Right, right.
Got
so
it.
so we we always make jokes to our our devil dog brothers about eating crayons, but now
Right.
you could eat your own crayons.
What?
There.
Like, what do you mean?
So there's a way. If you can check it out right now, if you go on the website, crayonsreadytoeat.com. See if I can pull it up right here. Window capture. All right, here we go. So crayons ready to eat. I just found it today, and I'm dying because it's like it's all the jokes. I'm trying not to block anyone here.
Oh, you're good.
Wow.
So you can
So
actually crayons.
yeah, so look at this shit. It is in a bag. It's in an MRE bag, and it's called CRE.
Right.
Um, over here they even have like a crowdfunding thermometer. It looks like they're trying to get to 75,000. Which guys, this is a veteran owned company. Check them out. If you want to eat your own crayons, let's do it. But they have. Let's see. Let's check out their shop here real quick. So their shop,
Oh,
they got a lot of stuff.
they
A
look
certified
so
certified crayon eater vinyl sticker.
Oh, come on, dude.
Crayon eater e-gift coin. Crayons ready to eat by the case, and ready to eat single pouches. This is insane. Now I also want to say this is not a sponsorship. This is not some kind of affiliation. I just find this to be one of the funniest things in the world, and they're the crayons right there.
I mean,
So-
that was a good find.
what are they? What are the crayons?
But look at this picture with it's bit. The crayons are bit.
Oh, God damn. And they write, so the crayons actually work, but you can eat them like the certified mongoloid that you are. Right. Like,
So I'm trying to.
now I've seen it all.
Oh,
Now I've seen it all.
Here we go. Ingredients: white chocolate, sugar, hydrogenated palm kernel oil,
Yeah.
palm, palm kernel oil, whey powder, whole milk. It's all stuff that good or bad, you
Yeah.
still put it in your body. But it's
Hey,
good.
it's-
It's completely edible. Warning: please enjoy. We want you to remind you not to eat real crayons. We do not promote eating them.
What the fuck?
Some of the ingredients.
Gotta say
contain-
it. You have
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that you have to say it. Some of the
The funny-
ingredients can stain
The really
your
funny
clothes.
part is actual crayons are non-toxic because a lot of small children will
They're eating it.
eat them. So crayons are non-toxic to begin with. They're not really meant to be ate, but they are non-toxic. So
Oh,
how about that?
Here's one last thing. Please don't let your pets eat these. We all know
Oh.
chocolate is not safe for your pets.
Right.
give them real crayons.
So non-toxic, they'll be fine with that. But yeah, I think this is fucking cool. I think it's a great way, it's a great gag gift to give to. I mean, my brother's a Marine. I'm probably one day gonna buy these and send these to him.
There you
And
go.
let's see who we are.
I mean, it's already like what, mid-April almost? Yeah, it's almost mid-April already. I mean, we're gonna blink our eyes and Christmas is gonna be here again. So
This is
Yeah.
true.
might as well start planning now, right?
Yeah, so the guy was a woodworker, but yeah, he's from Ohio, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to contact this dude. Maybe we could figure something out.
Maybe he will sponsor the show.
That
Did we?
that is impressive. Crayons ready to eat.
Was that sponsorship thing we talked about earlier? Is that something you wanted to talk about here, John?
We'll
or
talk. We'll
what?
talk. Yeah, we'll talk offline about it. But
Okay.
I haven't seen. He usually comes in the show. Baby, you want?
Did you see what? Did you see what Nichelle put in the comments about the candy cigarettes?
They can be
Like
used
back-
as emergency candles.
Yeah, I used to do the candy cigarettes, man, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Cigarettes and Big League Chew.
Yep. And it's shocking nowadays to think that they let candy producers, I guess, kind of get away with marketing
Yeah.
tobacco like that, but it was a real thing. Like in the 80s, like when you went to the ice cream man, you could get candy cigarettes and you could get Big League Chew at the corner store you
Yeah.
know, and put a big old honking wad of like gum in your mouth and act like you were using spitting tobacco. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, good golly, man! Like, we've come a long way, Sean. We've come a long way. I think it's tobacco. Speaking of which,
You're getting props for the logo.
I see. Thank you. Thank you. I'm seeing everything now.
yeah, I think
We'll, we
when people
will
like the new look,
we will be. I see what you're saying, Myers. That's been a conversation literally all day. We will
what's
will
that?
the Discord.
Oh,
We've
yeah,
literally
yeah, yeah.
we've literally been talking about it all day, Myers. We'll get back
Yeah.
to y'all on that. And I just want to say, speaking of veteran-owned companies, before we get into other shenanigans for the rest of the show, I got a friend of mine, we're speaking about veteran-owned companies. I just wanted to shout out my boy from Blaze Online, who he runs veteran owned and operated. Blaze Online provides only the highest quality, federally legal hemp derived Delta 8 THC products on, online to participating states with special offer to our local communities.
Good for him.
Uh,
Good for
this is probably one of the greatest things I've ever seen him do. I actually grew up with the guy, so I've tried his gummies the other day. I love them. I'm gonna try another one right now.
Are these gummies just like you said? It's Delta 8, right? And I'm pretty like what the active one is Delta 9, right?
Yes.
What's the difference between Delta 8 and Delta 9? Then like, do you not get high, or like does it just make your body feel good, or like what is it? Like,
So on the bottle here, man, that's good. It's less than 30% Delta 9. So I've been having the gummies, and the thing that's making me feel it's more relaxed. My body feels like it's in like a euphoric, wavy motion. Perfect,
I'm so fucking jealous, dude.
dude. Perfect to have when you're going to sleep.
Hmm.
And I took
Sounds
two,
like
and I took two, and
I'm
I took
just gonna
two of
say,
them. I took two of them before I went to bed. And I spoke to the CEOs, and I told him this is some good stuff. So
good for
hopefully,
you.
hopefully we're gonna have you on the show soon to talk about your company veteran stuff. Which actually, if any of you guys here are watching,
I
if
would
you
like that.
if you
We
own
haven't
a
had a guest in
company,
a while.
yeah,
Yeah,
if you have a company, hit us up. We'll bring you on. Let's talk about it.
yeah.
What do you
absolutely,
got?
absolutely,
Do you
hundred
make
percent.
do you make T-shirts? Do you make plastic bags? Do you make cakes? What do you do? We want to
The
know.
butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. Like, wait, what do you do?
Right.
Oh man, if
oh,
if if anybody, if we got any candle makers, let me know.
oh, I guarantee they're out there. Like, we got we got 517 members right now, which
Yeah.
you know, when you go back to just a short year ago, I'm talking like literally like a year plus maybe like 30 or 40 days. So like maybe about 13 months ago, we had like less than 30.
Yeah.
So in like a little bit over a year, we have literally like just exploded in size as far as like how many people. I guarantee you, we've got people out there that know how to make candles or that have done it. I guarantee you, there's going to be at least one, or they're going to have like their cousin is like a hippie, back in like whatever part of California, right? And they know how to do it, right?
Yeah.
Because like,
Well, I hope somebody can because have you ever seen those pipe tobacco scented candles? Oh man, I love
Pipe. Wait, pipe
pipe tobacco.
tobacco scented
pipe
candles.
tobacco
Yeah.
scented, yeah. Pipe
Yep.
tobacco, pipe tobacco, contrary to prior belief, like pipe tobacco actually smells really, really good when it's burned.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
hell yeah.
So
Well, when you talk about
that's why you don't.
natural, when you talk about like
Yeah,
natural, like you know, premium tobacco, which
yeah, like
ma-
out of like a mahogany pipe, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like a regular.
we actually have a DD214 member who's like I mean, I would say he's like the cigar aficionado of the group, and he actually runs a group. He's a coastie. I'll have to ask him about that stuff because he's very,
You should.
he's I've always wanted to. I probably have one or two cigars in my life. I've always wanted to like when we had Mike J on the show,
Uh huh.
he was
Yeah.
saying that he one of the craziest things I've ever heard in my life was that he said he would dip his cigar into his cognac or whatever it was that he was
Right.
having.
Yep.
I never heard of
It's a
anything
thing.
like that
Yeah.
before.
Well, and there's different. And yeah, I mean, I'm not as plussed up on it very much more than you are, John. Other than I've probably smoked a few more cigars in my day. But I will tell you, like my biggest problem, and the reason I never really got into cigars or pipe smoking was because I tend to just fucking inhale everything, and you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Like you are not supposed to inhale cigar smoke. You're not supposed to inhale pipe smoke, and I take everything downtown. Like
J-Max.
if it's in my
Forgive
mouth,
me.
it's going in my lungs. Okay, like that's it. Like and then blow it right back out. It doesn't. No, I swallowed the homies goodnight. Right, so you knew it was coming, Sean.
Yeah,
Sean saw the setup.
you know,
Sean saw the setup of that.
you
He
know,
totally saw the setup. He saw that coming a mile away, dude.
you know what's funny too? How like you were talking about a couple weeks ago about like that fucking pouch tobacco stuff that is like spitless, but like when I think oh
It's right
god,
here.
like it's so
Here's
crazy
my
because like
fucking knife.
I've seen people like swallow their tobacco spit,
Mm,
but then again,
Yeah,
like,
like
but then
actually,
again,
yeah, like
I've seen
yeah, like
people drink bong
tobacco.
water too.
yeah.
I don't know how they do. I don't know how they do that, and it's terrible for your esophagus to do that. Like you're swallowing like what amounts to over time is what amounts to
Damn.
fucking acid. You're literally swallowing acid, and then
Yeah.
it's like when you get you ever have like a chest pain the next day after you like drank too much and threw up the night before because you were throwing up
No,
bile. You
never
were throwing
drank.
up. Yeah, because you were throwing up all your fucking bile. You're throwing up all that fucking stomach acid.
Sean with his
And
no
it
commendo
fucks your
doing
goddamn
that.
esophagus up.
That's right.
And that's why a lot of dudes that chew for so long and so many years end up with fucking mouth and throat cancer because they fucking swallow that
You
bullshit and
really,
it fucks
yo, like
their esophagus up.
like she said, you're literally swallowing cancer.
Yeah.
That's correct. That's basically what you're doing. Like
So you're swallowing the homies and you're swallowing the cancer. You son of you live life to the fullest, bro.
Are you washing down the home? Or are you washing down the cancer?
both. $20 is $20, bro.
Hey,
Come on now. I don't ask questions.
I don't
I
know.
don't ask questions.
You're gonna have
I
to
just make sure.
you're gonna have to add COVID taxes to that now.
I'd like to hear more.
Yeah. Now I'm full of COVID too. So.
I'd like to hear more about that cigar guy. I've had one Cuban cigar, and I got it in Afghanistan of all places.
Because it was legal there.
I had a dude. He was the dude who knows how to get things type of guy. His name was Anatoly Kolomiyets.
What country was he from?
Ukraine, and he
Yeah, I
was
was
all.
gonna say.
He's one of the few guys I'm still in contact with from my time in. So anyway, all of a sudden, man, we're back in Bagram waiting for our date to go back home, and just sitting around in PT shorts and bullshit. And he busts out the Cubans. So I was like, man, this is gonna be awesome. Light that thing up, and I was not impressed, man. I don't know if
I think
it's
a lot of
any generic Cuban or what, but
I think Cubans are illegal again, aren't they?
they used to be. They're no longer. We lived.
Oh,
We finally lifted the embargo. I don't know how many years ago it was, but
Obama
in,
did
Sha-
it.
Recently.
in Sean's time, it was the embargo was still on.
Yeah,
And I think
I
a lot of
I thought something had
the
happened
mystique.
recently. I don't know why I thought that.
Well, it's like anything else. A lot of the mystique with Cuban cigars is just the fact that they were illegal. So they could have been the worst cigars in the world, but you call them a Cuban
Cigars
cigar,
are humans.
you get you call it illegal, and all of a sudden it becomes a hot commodity, right? Because they were illegal. So
I think I want
I
to
think
get some pipe smoking. I think like the cherry
I
tobacco.
could see you
Yeah.
I could see you smoking a pipe.
Get one of them cool ones that come down like this and then go out.
Yeah, the mahogany. Yeah, the mahogany. Yeah, like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
In my wayward youth, I may have seen a few of those types of devices before, but
Right.
I don't think tobacco was being smoked out of them. So,
Oh, weird.
fancy that. This is what we get for growing up in the '90s, Sean.
It was the best time. I loved it. Great music.
I thought we were gonna miss out because we were growing up in the shadow of like the '60s and the '70s, with music, and I grew up listening to really all music, but classic rock was just my staple for the longest time, even kind of to this day. Classic rock has always been my staple. And I'm like, man, like how's my decade ever going to compare? And now with hindsight being 2020, like 30 years later, the 90s weren't that bad. Like we did pretty fucking good for ourselves. Like that was our decade, and the 90s were fucking badass. We had great music. We had a fairly stable economy, overall. And being a teenager in that time was like pretty. It was something else. It was something else.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun. Had a lot of fun.
God, I think I was maybe in 7th grade when the hell's his name, Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction put together the first Lollapalooza.
Right.
And it's like,
Right.
what? One show with all these bands? Are you kidding me?
Right.
Man,
And now,
cool.
it's like the fucking standard, right? Like if you're not seeing like 10 gigantor mega badass bands, the show sucked, right? Like
Well, right now nobody's seeing shit.
point duly noted. I will concede that point. Oh, guess what? Oh my God! So speaking of shows, so I have to relate this to you because I did have a good week, and because I just remembered that my lovely lady did this for me. I have tickets to Red Rock Amphitheater on April 23rd, or excuse me, June 23rd. On June 23rd, to see a show. The funny part about this show is the bands you might not recognize the name of, which is fine. But there's a band called Calexico, and they're kind of Tucson based, but they did like the college circuit back in like the 90s and early 2000s. But they were like a Tucson based band. And I still to this day listen to their music to like remind me of Tucson. If I get homesick for Tucson, I'll play their shit. And I've been rocking it lately. And then there's a country singer of all, believe it or not, Jay likes country, right? But her name is Neko Case. And she's actually been blacklisted at the Grand Ole Opry.
I'm familiar with her.
But she's got a very country sound, but her lyrical content is not country. So if that makes sense. So all of her sound, like, they got slide guitars and acoustics and all that. But lyrically, she doesn't really sing about country stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, I saw Neko Case open up for Calexico in 2001 in a tiny little like shit-stained art gallery in Tucson, Arizona, like downtown Tucson, right? Where like you hear like the coyotes howling and like gunshots going off, right?
Yeah.
And now in 2021, 20 years later, I get to see Calexico open up for Neko Case at Red Rock Amphitheater in fucking Colorado, dude, in Denver, Colorado. And like, dude, you want to talk about coming full circle, dude. Like, holy shit. I'll tag you in some of their stuff. Like, it's both artists are kind of equal in my mind. But they're both really good. And to be able to see them play in like the greatest like concert arena like in the history of man, like there was an award they used to give every year for the best concert venue, like nationwide, worldwide, whatever. Well, after fucking Red Rock won it like 9 years in a row, they disqualified Red Rock from ever being part of it again, but they named the award after Red Rock. After Red Rocks, like so it's the Red Rocks award now, basically, because nobody else was gonna beat it. You know what I mean? Like and I've seen one show there so far, and it is an amazing amphitheater. It is an amazing, like, just naturally acoustically like aligned.
Yeah,
you know
it's on my list. It's on my bucket list, man. I want to go to see at the Red Rocks.
If you walk all the way up the stairs, when you kind of get to the top and you turn around to see the stage, you can see the lights of Denver over the stage.
Oh wow!
Because you're basically in the foothills of a mountain, but there are these gigantic red rocks, like just pillars of rock coming out of the ground around you, and it creates a natural amphitheater. So the sound is just, it's an experience. Like fuck whoever you're seeing play music that night. Just being in that arena is amazing because it's all natural. They've obviously got seats built in, or like benches, wooden benches and stuff built in, but for the most part, it's all natural. Like that's you walk up a hill basically to get
Yeah.
to the seating area, you know, where the people are playing. So it's something else. It's something else.
Ooh, man.
So yeah, John, you're muted. John, you're muted.
That reminds me of like a lot of the places I used to like because I went to Ozfest from like 2000 all the way to 2007,
Yeah.
6 or something like that. So a lot of the venues that they would choose to go to, like in 2005, I went to Virginia for Oz. I actually went to Ozfest twice that year. I went to Virginia and New York for that one, and it was actually great because I got to see Norma Jean and System of a Down and Black Sabbath, which
I
was
used to have Norma. I used to have a Norma Jean album. I know who that is.
yeah and that was really cool because I man, I'm a lot of those places are like amphitheater like every Ozfest that you go to. Like I remember seeing I remember my favorite one 2001 where you had Papa Roach and Linkin Park and Static X and Biscuit and Orgy and it you know a lot of those places are like amphitheater like and the PNC
Yep.
Bank Arts Center is exactly like that except it's obviously it's built but fuck you know God I miss concerts man.
I know.
I
I
miss
know.
They're coming back,
concerts.
homie. They're coming back, and I got my vaccination card. So, by God, on June 23rd, all right, I'm going to see Neko, I'm going to see
Dude.
Neko Case and Calexico.
John,
Go ahead.
John, Jay's gonna be walking around like that scene in Wayne's World where they got the MVP fastened.
I got my
Got my
COVID
COVID
vaccine.
vaccine.
I'm
Got my
vaccinated.
COVID vaccine.
Where's the VIP section for the vaccinated?
Yeah.
That's
I've always wanted a baseball style jersey that just says Tucson across the front because like I have a tattoo that represents Tucson to me, but it doesn't like say Tucson or anything. Because Tucson really is kind of where I cut my teeth. I was born in Kansas City, but I spent 25 of my first 29 years in Tucson, Arizona. So
Hypodermic needle.
no, thank you. No,
Oh,
no.
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, right.
what was
No, I've always wanted to get like a baseball jersey just to rock Tucson, but I have a feeling if I can get a jersey made and sent and shipped to my house before June, like I'll fucking wear that shit. I'll just go stand in front of the fucking stage and just fucking hold my shit up because they're Neko Case is not from Tucson, but she spent a lot of time there. And Calexico, they're also not from there, but they also spent like a metric shit ton of time there. Like when they were doing the college circuit, the U of A was like their home base basically. Like so, like they're big in Tucson, right? So that's like, and both of those groups spent a lot of time in Tucson. So I think it'd be funny to be like the Tucson guy at their concert. You know, when I saw him 20 years ago in like a 30 by 30 like art gallery, it was like there was no seats. It was literally like just standing room only, and there was probably 60 or 70 people packed into this little tiny art gallery to watch Neko Case and Calexico play. Like, and I'll never forget that. Like, I went up to Miss Case after the show. I was like, it was one of those places you could just walk up to him, and like thanked her, like really liked her music. Like it's her style of country is a throwback. It's not country you would hear on the radio today. It's a throwback to like that old school kind of like they got the twang, they got the slide guitars. Like she's an amazing artist. So
Right on. Hey, if you guys hear the puppy whining outside my bedroom door, I apologize.
I haven't heard him yet.
Yeah, so about the time that Ozfest was going on, Jay, you may be familiar with the radio station up in the Phoenix area. It's 98 KUPD was the station, and it was like the hard. I would say it was the hard rock station after KZRX went off the air. KZRX played the hard stuff. Their motto was "Get hard, Arizona," But when they got shut down, then it was KUPD that kind of stepped up and was playing all the rock. Well, they put together because, like I said, it's KUPD, and on their promos and stuff, they would say 98 KUPD. Like it was like this big booming, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they did U Fest, and U Fest was fucking cool, man. I mean, Ozfest had all the big time hard bands and some of the cool, not so big time bands. But U-Fest, man, it was like if you just listen to the radio station for 2 hours, it's all those bands. Like that,
right.
Whoever was on the radio at that time, they managed to get them all, and it was fucking phenomenal. until
Till.
I think his name was Chino Marino from Deftones
Yeah.
incited a riot.
Cheeto.
Yep.
The whole place was nuts.
He was
I
And
kind
remember.
of known for
I remember reading
he was
about that.
he
yep,
was
I was
kind of known for being a little bit
well.
edgy back in the day,
It was
right? But
fucked up, man. I'll tell you what was going on. So I was about so
So
the
wait,
grass.
you were at that show?
Yeah, I was at that show. Yeah, me and my friends, we all got tickets. So it was the grass section was behind us, and we were in the first seating section. That you could afford or whatever. And man, security was being real shitty with
ridiculous.
all the kids. Man, they
Age.
if
Got to
somebody
pull.
would try to jump on or whatever, and instead of like blocking them and telling them to get back or whatever, they would run and grab them and like body slam them onto the concrete. And it was like, and they were laughing about it. It was like a game. They were seeing who could fuck up the teenagers. And these were like big tattooed
Yeah,
dudes.
grown men.
Yeah, it was crazy, man.
Oh shit, you got it, John.
Yeah, yep. I was in that crowd. So
Right.
what happened? What led to this is uh, everybody was getting pissed at these security guards, and they started throwing their water bottles. Well, the soundboard is like in the middle of the crowd under a tent,
Right.
and so some of the water bottles were landing there. And then the somebody had to come out. One of the disc jockeys came out on stage in between bands and reminded everybody that water and electricity is bad.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but that pissed everybody off because it wasn't, we weren't just throwing shit. It was, we were getting fucked up by these security guards. And when Deftones came out, he knew what was going on and he saw what was going on. And he called those security guards out and he goes, you know what? Actually, I want everybody back there in the grass right now to come down here. And it was a sea of kids that just started coming pouring over this fence. Everybody was
And that's a
excited.
fairgrounds too. That's not a concert hall. That's a fairground right there. That's a lot
Well,
of
it was
people.
Is that Desert Sky?
it was
Was that Desert Sky? That's
Blockbuster Desert Sky Pavilion.
Desert
Yep.
Sky. Yeah, Desert Sky
Yeah.
Pavilion in Phoenix. Yep. Yeah, I know. My first concert was I saw, it wasn't called Ozfest at the time, but I saw Ozzy Osbourne in 1995
Yeah.
at Desert Sky, and I've seen Tool at Desert Sky a couple times. So
Dude,
that's fucking.
I saw Ozzy there in '95. I bet we were at the same show.
Was it the makeup show because Manson was supposed to be there, but he didn't make the second one? It was who was it? God damn it! Oh my God! Ozzy Osbourne, Marilyn Manson, and how am I forgetting this band? It's a metal band. How am I forgetting their name?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I'm so
remember,
disappointed.
I don't remember who else was there. Oh no, it was Rammstein was there.
Rammstein, they play fucking an amazing
Uh,
show.
Oh, dude, they always have like, and by the way, back in the '90s,
Yeah.
it was like the two best stage shows was fucking Rammstein if you like them, or ICP if you like them.
I have
Because
to
outside of that,
disagree. I have to disagree.
Who?
In 1999, or maybe it was 2000, Limp Bizkit went on tour with Eminem and Papa Roach, an exhibit for the Anger Management tour. And if you look at the set around that time, Significant Other just came out for Limp Bizkit, so they were in the peak of their career. Their
Right.
shows had Transformers on their fucking stage, and they
Huh.
were they were killing
Was-
it. They were fucking
Well, that
killing
was-
it with stage
Well,
presence.
that was late. Yeah, I guess I kind of slightly misspoke. I mean, that was more late '90s, but you didn't start seeing like theatrical-esque stage shows, outside of like Pink Floyd in the '70s, right? Until guys like Rammstein started setting everything on fire, and a couple of wild clowns from friggin' Detroit started friggin' throwing Fago on their audiences, and it became a thing. You know what I mean? Like a lot of time when in the early to mid '90s, going to a concert was like you just kind of watched, your band perform.
Yeah.
That does look pretty cool, actually. That does look pretty cool. I can see that. That's interesting.
It was incredible. It was and we're talking about like we're going into the 2000s and the future was coming. So there were so many. You still had bands like so Slipknot was fucking selling out.
They were in their infancy, but they were
But even
Yep.
even in their infancy, they were like, holy shit.
Yeah.
They came out and they actually filmed "Wait and Bleed" in New Jersey,
Uh-huh.
for their
That
Ozfest.
was their breakthrough. That was their breakthrough single. I remember when they hit. I remember when they first hit. And it was "Wait to Bleed." Like
Durst is a
I remember
douche.
that.
Fred Durst
What's
is
that? What?
Fred Durst is a douche. I remember
Yeah,
I think we've
yeah.
talked about this before, like our first concerts. Like my first one was the I'm looking at the set list from the first show I went to. It was Filter, Fuel Man, Marcy
Mm.
Playground, Moby, Our Lady Peace, and the Red Hot
Nice.
Damn,
Chili
dude.
Peppers. That was my first
Nice.
show. I don't remember a goddamn
That
thing
was your
about it.
first concert?
That was my first concert, and I don't remember much of it. I do remember the Red Hot Chili Peppers playing 4 songs and people getting pissed off, and that was pretty much it.
Damn.
But I remember the year after Deftones played that year, and they had a rotating stage. Like
Okay.
whenever the one band was done, they were like, "Okay, spin the
Next.
stage." The stage would spin, the next band would play, and then it was cool. It was cool. Concerts, man. Um,
Well, it didn't used to be this big gigantic production every time. Like I think people expect that nowadays. When I was a kid, teenager going to my first concerts, a lot of the time all you got was the band members and their instruments, and maybe the lead singer, had like a cool, microphone or something, but that'd be about it. And then they just went out there and they played and they sang and they did their thing. It wasn't necessarily bad, but by today's standard, it'd be considered boring. Like
that's funny that you say
go ahead. Go ahead.
cool microphone too, because that was Jonathan Davis's thing in Corn. He had that
Oh yeah,
fucking
Yeah,
yeah.
microphone stand.
The HR Geiger, the HR Geiger design microphone
Yeah.
stand. Yeah, yep.
Yeah. Some people, then you had Kerry King with his guitar, and then you had
Dude, I was literally just about to bring up Slayer because I got to the last concert I've been to was in November of 2019 up in Colorado Springs. I got to see Slayer on the final leg of their final world tour, and holy fucking shit, can those old men still fucking rock, dude? Like it was bad ass, dude.
Your dreams tonight. That was
Oh,
like to me that like I loved Rain in Blood. Rain in Blood was actually one of my not Rain in Blood. The
Raining
fuck,
Blood.
what was the name of that song from God Hates Us All?
Oh, it's Disciple.
Disciple. Yeah.
Disciple. God hates us all. That's on my phone, dude. Like I literally have like that's like the save screen on my phone. It just says God hates us all. Like just as a reminder, you know what I mean? Like just in case I ever forget. Like
I remember I got to see Fear Factory, and the first song they opened up with Rain and Blood. Fear Factory, man. Fear Factory was a tremendous band. They were so big, but they would play these small venues, and they
Yeah.
loved it. Oh man, those were the days, man. Those were the
Yep.
fuck,
Yep.
man. We bring it back, bring it
Hello.
back. But
Yeah.
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Are we a gaming podcast or a music podcast? Because
I know,
I'm doing
right? We've been
shows, man.
we've been nerding out. We've been nerding out for like 30 minutes on this.
Yeah, so some good music is good now too. Right in December
I
of
think we
December of 2019, we saw Our Last Night. Was that 19? Yeah, we saw. It was like November, December 2019. We saw this one band, Our Last Night. It was, and one band, two of the bands I never even heard of, and we saw them at Webster Hall. And what the fuck? The fucking bass player of the main band decided to play a whole song in the crowd, like in the mosh pit, and people were fucking bumping into
that's
him.
badass.
You know,
That's bad.
That's
you know,
awesome.
It just goes to show you don't need a big show. You just need some lights, because the lights do all the fucking work for you now.
Yeah,
Right.
true.
You know. Shit.
The last show that I saw was The Dead with John Mayer playing guitar, which
Oh,
was a
wow.
great show.
Wow.
You're a grateful fan. Like The Dead are, well, at least were before COVID. They're firing on all cylinders. But with that bass player in the mosh pit thing, I saw Bush a couple of years back,
Oh, Bush. Wow.
and Gavin Rosdale is a performer, man.
Oh yeah.
I was never a big fan of that band. I really wasn't. I liked some of their stuff, but I was
They
never.
had a couple good songs. Yeah, they had a couple good songs.
But
Yeah.
man, it
Superman,
was a
what
list of
have you
hits.
done?
Every song he played was a hit, and he got all jumping up and down, pouring sweat. I mean, he hadn't lost a step. And one of the songs, he did the same thing. Grabbed his mic, jumped down, ran through the crowd. Everybody's hugging him and high fiving him, and he runs all the way to the back. Because this is in Charlotte, but it's kind of like a venue outside of the Fillmore Music Pavilion there. There's a couple of smaller venues right in that same complex, and it's kind of about the size you would expect to see like a really, really good regional band, like not Bush. And so it was packed, and there's tables in the back and bars all around on the inside of the building. So he runs all the way back. He's high fiving people. They're trying to sing into the mic and stuff, and he jumps up on the table and sings the whole song way in the back where everybody couldn't get close. Man, it was cool. And then he just comes running back up. The security helped him get back to the stage. But it's good shit, man. Like good performers like that.
He's a
You sit
great
there,
actor too.
uh,
He's a great actor too, Gavin Rosdale. He
didn't know yeah.
What's he been?
Constantine with Keanu Reeves. He played the devil's son, Beelzebub.
What?
Hmm.
I didn't fucking know that.
Yeah,
Didn't know that either.
yeah. He's a very. I remember, and there's the little scene that he's in. He actually has his face like split, and you can see like his devil side. And I always said that motherfucker should be Two Face.
Right?
Oh,
Right?
man.
That's funny.
Actually,
That is funny.
I saw Bush with Stained.
Wow.
Yeah. Stain don't even exist. Stain don't even exist anymore. That's another fucking band. Oh, I saw them with it was Bush, Seether, and Stain.
Yep.
Either, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. So my very first concert was Zach Wilde's band Pride and Glory before he did
Wow.
Black Label Society. And then
Yeah, BLS. Yeah.
and then it was Ted Nugent, and then it was Leonard Skinner, like all in the same show.
Oh shit.
Cool. That's cool.
Shit.
I actually got one of the first albums I bought after I joined the army, because they had it for some reason at the PX, was a BLS album. And I was like, oh fuck yeah, Black Label Society, let's fucking do this. So I fucking got that shit, took it home. It was like, $10 or whatever, but like I still have it in my CD case. I literally still have it in my
Put
CD.
New Jersey
Like,
on the map.
Zach Wild is, I'm pretty sure he was still guitaring for Ozzy on that tour that me and Sean saw in 1995, if I'm not mistaken. Was he not?
No, he had a kind of a one-off guitar player at the time that I saw him, so maybe it wasn't the same show, but it was some guy named Joe somebody. He had dark hair, always wore dark sunglasses, and he was only in Ozzy for a year.
I was going to say, I'd have to look it up, because between like Randy Rhoads and Zach Wilde, it's like Ozzy also helped propel other people to their own great careers. You know what I mean? Just by virtue of being in Black Sabbath or being attached to Ozzy. Yeah.
He was great, man. Zach kind of steals all the thunder, man, except for Randy. Randy's a mythical legend, but Zach will always be affiliated with Ozzy. Like he is the son of Ozzy, in my opinion, anyway.
I just watched.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that.
I just watched the video of them performing Mr. Crowley because I watched an old version with Randy Rhoads playing, which wasn't up to speed, and I was just like, I need something faster. My wife was saying that, and then I found the video with Zach Wilde playing. And it was just like, all right, here we go, Mr. Crowley.
You should come sing karaoke at my VFW, John. We have a good time. We have a good time.
I'm good at imitating singing voices.
That's all karaoke is. You just imitate. You find the song that you can sing and carry a tune to, and you sing that. Yeah. That's all karaoke is.
My first CD that I ever bought was "And Justice for All" by Metallica.
Oh,
nice.
Shit.
Nice.
It's funny you say my first CD I ever bought was actually "And Then There Was X" by DMX, who just died just a couple years ago. Yeah, that was my first CD.
Here's how dated. My first CD that I bought, that Injustice, it came in a big cardboard rectangular box that's how CDs came back then for all you young fuckers out there. Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah,
I was so happy when I got my new car. When I got my new car last year, that it still has a fucking CD player. So now I can still play my CDs, right? Because I still have fucking CDs. Because I never grew up. So.
It's funny too because I had someone just at work just the other day ask me for one of those cassette things that you connect to your CD player, and I just looked at him.
Yeah.
I'm like, surprisingly, we do sell those.
oh shit.
Yeah, they still exist.
Yeah, I get
Your
that.
car I used that for years. Like I had a cassette deck, and you like put the fake cassette in, and you attach it to your CD player, but then you can play your CD over your car stereo. Like I had one of those for years, years and years.
And then people got smart and they made FM modulators, which beautiful.
I've got one of those in my car right now. That's what I have in my car right now. That's what I use to play off my phone.
Yeah, well, while we're talking about digital, actually, do you guys want to see a trailer? You guys want to see a trailer?
Sure. Yeah.
Why not? Why not? What's it about?
It's called Assault on VA-33. It's
Right.
Assault on. Okay.
Let's do it.
I'll send you guys the link real quick. I'll put it on the screen here, and then we'll go on about fucking E3. From what I'm hearing, this movie is made by a veteran. There you go.
All right. I'm gonna mute my microphone real quick and watch this real quick. And I guess we'll talk about it here in a second, right?
Yep. It says decorated veteran and PTSD sufferer Jason Hill meets his wife Jennifer for lunch at the Veterans Affairs Hospital where she works. When she is called away for an emergency consultation with the head of the U.S. military chief of staff, the hospital is taken hostage by terrorists. Jason becomes the last line of defense and must battle the terrorists and his own PTSD-induced demons to save his wife, the general, the hospital staff, and the patients. Let's see. All right, let me pull this up so everyone can see it. All right. I'm going to play it in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Police emergency line.
Yeah, I'd like to report some suspicious activity at the VA hospital.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
Hey there.
I don't know what you want, but you're not gonna get it. We'll see.
Chief, there's been an assault on VA 33.
This man is a terrorist.
I'm revenge.
I saw multiple men with weapons. Something is going on here. People are gonna die.
They know you're there?
No. We have a guy out here.
This guy's being a real pain.
You have no idea how much trouble you're in.
We do not negotiate with terrorists. There are innocent people in there.
One shot for the kill.
Daryl?
Daryl, come in. Hey, One chance yeah. It's one shot, not a future resort.
All right.
All right. Maybe. I'll give it a solid maybe.
If it's his first movie, and you gotta give it a shot. I mean, the concept looks pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah, it's a little bit tropish, but at the same time, like I can't say no. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those. Okay, I turn on Netflix. I got nothing else to watch, and make some popcorn, lay in bed, kill a couple hours, with like a good popcorn movie. You know what I mean? Like that's that. I call movies like that popcorn movies. Like the movie, it's not going to win Oscars, but you're into it. You're into it for the couple hours, and then you were entertained basically. Like are you not entertained? Right? Like it's It looks like an entertaining movie. It'll keep you probably engaged for a couple hours, right? Like watching one man wreck shop on a very organized terrorist unit that somehow killed a bunch of military people at the beginning, but it took this one guy to make it happen.
It
You know,
sounds very familiar, doesn't it? Sounds like something that could have taken place in Nakatomi Tower.
Nakatomi Tower on Christmas. Best Christmas movie ever.
It is a Christmas movie. I don't care what anybody says. And Harry Potter is too.
They're fooling themselves that they think it's not. They're fooling
Yeah.
themselves that they think it's not. Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
I'm definitely gonna watch that movie though. You know,
I think I could-
I'm very critical with films. You know, the acting looked a little funny. You know, to me, you know, but hey, everyone's got to start somewhere. But hey, you know, I'll never say no to a military movie. You know, so especially the shows. You know, some of these shows I've said it plenty of times. That show 6, which is 2 seasons long on history, with actually the actor who plays Captain Price. He's the main guy in the show. Oh
Nice.
man, you know, some of these shows get it right, some of these shows get it wrong. I can't even watch Hurt Locker the same way anymore. You know?
Dude, I still to this day, like, it boggles my mind that it won Best Picture, because like when I watched it, I was like, okay, decent movie, I guess. Like, I was kind of entertained, cool. And then after I joined the Army, I was like, all you see is all the mistakes. And it's like whoever their military advisor was just needs to be taken out behind the shed, probably, you know, because like so many tactical and technical errors in that movie that it's hard to watch now, you know, in the future, you know, but it won Best Picture that year. And and now it's in the congressional what are they, the Hall of Records or whatever. Like it's considered a historical movie now, and it's like it was so wrong. Like everything
There's only 3 films that I think got it right, in my opinion. I've seen. Number 1 is the series Band of Brothers. Number 2, Saving Private Ryan, and number 3, Act of Valor. Duh, because it was made by like actual service members.
Sean? Have you seen Generation Kill, the miniseries? Oh, dude, you need to watch it. It's 7 episodes long. It was made by HBO back in the day. It's about it's based off a book. So a Rolling Stone reporter got embedded with a platoon, an outfit of Marine Force Recon during the 2003 invasion of Iraq. Bro, if you like Band of Brothers, like Generation Kill is like our generation's, like, no shit. Like you really need to check that one out, dude, because that one's up there too. I don't disagree with any of the ones you said. That Generation Kill, you need to see that. You really need to see that.
Band of Brothers is so goddamn good too.
The what?
Band of Brothers is so goddamn good.
Yeah, I can't even tell you how many times I've seen it, man.
Yeah, I actually got here. Where is it? It's not Band of Brothers. Oh shit. Oh, I see it. I got this from.
Got it?
Shit. Yeah, I got this from DD214 member Sean Mangan. Not too long ago. It's the whole. He knows I'm a fucking like World War II buff. I got this 10 DVD.
What?
It just keeps opening. It doesn't stop.
God damn, dude.
But yeah, it's like a whole 10 DVD. I think most of it's in black and white too. It's like some like the old original things that came out for World War II. They all put it into like a 10 DVD thing. I'm such a sucker for this shit. I'm always learning something new about it. But lately, I've been diving down into the Gulf War. Yeah.
You know, and it's, well, we've talked about it on here before too. I mean, I know our generation is a little bit different than some of our preceding military generations. I know back in the day, it wasn't always necessarily kosher to talk about stuff after you came home. But I think it makes a big statement when we don't read our history, when we don't know about the people that came before us. And now as veterans, we are doing a great disservice to our comrades on the civilian side by not sharing our stories and by not telling them, you know, what we've done, where we've been, you know, what we've gone through. I'm not saying you got to have a weepy conversation at the bar with a stranger just because he or she happened to sit down next to you and, and drink a beer with you. I'm not saying that, but if we're not sharing our experiences, it gets lost to history, and it's easy for those experiences to just kind of like blow away like dust in the wind. If we're not telling the people that we love, our friends, our family members, sometimes if they ask us questions, it's okay to answer them sometimes. If you can talk about it, by all means talk about it, because some people want to know, and a lot of people don't have the experiences we've had because they never joined. And that's not a hit on them. That's just they don't know. And, when we talk about movies like Hurt Locker and what a giant turd it is watching it now versus like when it won Best Picture and everybody thought it was.
I made it probably about 30 minutes into the movie and was like, fuck this, man. This is stupid.
Yeah, dude, it only gets worse, bro. It only gets worse. Like, there's stuff towards the end of the movie, Sean, they're like, you'd probably grit your teeth so hard that your fillings fell out. You know what I mean? Like seriously, dude. Like, like it's bad. It's like when you watch it from like the military angle, it's terrible. It's a terrible movie. Like, everything about it is wrong. Everything about that movie is wrong. And it won fucking best. Like, that was Hollywood's idea of what the military was in Iraq with EOD personnel, right? And it won fucking best picture. Like, how did it win? Like, okay, you're gonna get Jay on one. Like, yeah, because it's offensive. It's offensive, like how bad it is. Like, it really is.
He's gonna take all the shit off and put his bandana on and his sunglasses and like.
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
please.
You got a bunch of contractors are pinned down by a sniper, and then you're telling me the contractors are gonna hand their sniper weapon over to an EOD guy? Yeah. No, the fuck they're not. Yeah. No, the finger fuck they're not. Like that no, like.
Yeah. So Eva just brought up Stripes. So she says one of her favorite movies. That is classic. Love.
Yeah.
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 Great movie.
And yeah, gentlemen, we're now here. Jay, it is your turn to take the realms for the final thought.
Okay. Appreciate that. Well, we made another week, so let's make it one more.
Yeah.
If you're ever in a place where you're questioning everything and you don't think you're going to make it another day, stay up all night, watch the sun come up. And I promise you, when you see that sun come up, it'll give you hope for the next day. Because that means you made it through another day that you thought you weren't going to make it through. And now you can make it one more. I know life gets really, really difficult sometimes in all of our respective lives, obviously, everybody. But some people suffer a lot more, and a lot of them suffer in silence. So I always say pick up the phone. Just call somebody. If you're getting a random phone call at 2:30 in the morning from somebody you haven't talked to in 3 or 4 years, answer the phone. Sorry they woke you up. Sorry they woke you up, but answer the phone. Pick it up. They're not calling for no reason. Yeah, you might be getting drunk dialed. I get it, but sometimes we drunk dial the homies too, just to fucking hear a goddamn comfortable voice. Yeah. Just so we can hear a good voice in our head sometimes. So I just want to encourage everybody to remember that there is no secret to life. The only secret to life is to live to see another day. So keep the good people on speed dial and take care of yourselves personally, mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever gets you through. Take care of yourselves. And as my good buddy Sean Stutz always says, nobody ever made a good decision when this drug is involved right here. This drug right here is the ruination of worlds. So if you have been imbibing and maybe you weren't quite as responsible that night, please sleep it off before you make any hasty decisions, and pick up that phone and call somebody, because there are people out there that love you, and there are people out there that want to see you get gray and old. Okay, like we're all going to be soon. So we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for everything. Always. We will see you guys again next week, next Sunday, 1 week, guys. Love you.
Yeah.